Hello, everybody. Appreciate your time. Thank you for being on, guys. I just want you for a few minutes to just think outside of the box. Now, I know you work in your job and I know you're going in every day. Maybe you have somebody lining up to make a sale to come again, excuse me, that they were there the day before. Maybe you have someone who called in and they say they're ready to make a purchase. Or maybe you don't have anyone for the day. Maybe you're just sleeping. Maybe you're just looking out of the window, watching the cars coming by, hoping that somebody will come in. All right. Maybe you're saying to yourself, it's Saturday and the game hadn't came on yet, so hopefully somebody will come in. Maybe you're operating from a sense of optimism, which is good, but of course we need to be more proactive, and that's another video within itself. But for right now, I just want you to just think outside of the box. Whatever it is that you desire, where you're at, you may be thinking, here's a good one right here. I wish I can just come in on the days and times that I know I will make a sale. That's right. I wish I could just come in on the days and times that I know which I'll make a sale. Now, I know what you're thinking, folks. You're thinking yourself, how can that be possible? Keep in mind, whatever the human mind can think about, it can be carried out and done. That's right. If you can put it in here, it can be done. But for right now, I just want you to think outside the box. I don't want you to think about the company, the owner, what the rules are, what the times are. Even if you said to yourself, well, even if I could make one sale at one particular time or two or three sales within an hour and I can go home again. Don't think about the company or the owner right now or your supervisor. Just be concerned with you. That's right. Be concerned with you and your family. You know, we do it all the time where we concerned about all these different things, and in the end, it's going to be about you that matters. No one cares for you like you. No one's going to provide for you like you and your family. But getting back to the thinking outside the box, what if you can do that, folks? What if you can make two or three sales in an hour and you go home? Now, I want you to do this right here. I want you to pick the time that you like to make your sales or do business, I should say. Pick the times that's convenient for you to do business. For instance, if it's a Saturday, then that's the only time that customer can meet. Let's say you want to get them in within an hour around 9 o'clock and be out the door by 10 o'clock at home eating or barbecuing or whatever you're doing with family and friends. And let's say you can do two or three within 2 hours and you're gone for the rest of the day. Now, of course, again, some of you may be going back to the employee mindset. Some of you are going back to thinking in that box of that building. You know, you came in on a box, which is that car. You know, you're going to come to work in a box, which is that building. And then you're going home to a box, whether it's a apartment, trailer, or a house. So we need to get out of that mindset for right now. That's what this whole exercise is about. Getting out of the mindset of just thinking in a box. You're better than that, folks. Especially if you sell, you're able to get the customer in a different frame of mind. You know, you're able to talk about payment over price. You know, you're able to do many different things in order to win that customer over. Here's a question. How about winning yourself over to what you want? How about winning yourself over to what you desire versus just everything of what everyone else wants as well? You know, maybe the job says you hear from 9 to 6 or 9 to 7 or 11 to 7 or 11 to 8. How about thinking on things that you want as well? You know, we're coming up on November. Holiday time is kicking in. And so I want you all to be thinking outside of the box. How can I get that customer in and out? You know, how can I set appointments at times that are convenient for you in order to make things work on your terms? So maybe you can go home and prepare dinner, have some free time, spend time with the kids, spouse, whatever the case may be. That's right, folks. It's time to think about you versus doing things on their terms. And you're supposed to be the leader in terms of leading that customer into making a sale in terms of leading that customer, in terms of delivery date, price, payment, all those other things. It's up to you also to lead that customer in on the times that you're available. That's right, on the time you're available. You ever thought about that? But for so long, we've been thinking backwards. We've been chasing people around the store. We've been chasing people around the lot, doing things the way they want it did. We got to change that mindset, folks, and do things on your terms. All right? So think of that. Also, I want you to think of how you want to sell that product. How do you want to sell it in terms of price, in terms of payment, in terms of delivery? All those different things, folks. For an example, let's say the customer wants the product at 2% interest, and you know they don't qualify for that. You know they don't qualify, and they know they don't qualify, but they just trying you. They just trying your patience. They know their credit is jacked up, but they continue to try your patience. We have to think outside the box versus just going along with what they're talking about. We have to think outside the box in terms of getting frustrated. All right? I want you to think like this right here. The price is what it is. The interest is what it is, ma'am. And of course, I do have a team that can help them with their interests. All right? Again, don't worry about what the company says or what the bank is going to do. There are some things that can help them with that. But you must think on your terms and think outside the box versus their terms. All right? Keep in mind, folks, you are their leader. You are the boss. You are the doctor. Yeah, they may come in with the money and the down payment and an idea of what they want and what they looking for. But in the end, you must be the narrator. You must be the leader. You must be the dictator as well. So I want you to think outside the box, folks. I also want you to think outside the box on the days you would like to come. We talked about Saturday, but what if you only wanted to work 2 days a week instead of 5? Again, don't have that faraway look in your eyes. Don't say to yourself, well, the company makes everyone works 5 days a week, regardless of whether they make 10,000 a month in volume, 20,000, 5 or 3. It doesn't matter. I want you, for the sake of the exercise of thinking outside the box, saying to yourself, what could I do if I had 5 days off in a 7-day week versus just 2 days off in a 7-day week? And I know most of you work in 7 days. The customer got you all over the place. Come in on your off day. Come in when you're here. You get off at 6. You've been in at 9. And they come say, well, I'll be in at 8. And then they there all day, and sometimes they still don't buy anything. You ever had those where you wait 2 extra hours and they still hadn't bought yet? I want you to think to yourself, what would it be like to work 2 days or 3 days and still get the job done? Because here's reality, folks. Do you sell something every single day? Do you make enough volume every single day to make it worth your while for coming in 5 days a week? Does the gas really add up if you made no sales that whole day? Let's say you even hadn't received a prospect for that whole day. Does it make sense to come in that day? Now, of course, many of you might say, well, had I not went in, I wouldn't have known. So it's somewhat like gambling, isn't it? It's somewhat like gambling in the sense that you don't know when the sale is coming. But I want you to paint a picture in your mind and say to yourself, what if I could only work 2 days a week or 3 days a week and get the same amount of sales for the same amount of hours that I'm putting in? Would it be worth it? Again, think of this, folks. Whatever's in your mind can be carried out to your reality. But it's up to you. You can continue to listen to your peers, whether it's a higher up or whether it's a coworker, and say, reality is reality. I'll just keep doing what I've been doing. I'll just stick to the traditional ways of selling. Or you can say to yourself, I must think outside the box. I'm good at what I do. What if I can get this done in 3 days? Or maybe 5, maybe even the case. Sometimes maybe even 7. But at least if you can just narrow down those hours versus spending 40 hours or 45 or 50, if you can get them down and still make the same money or even more, I'm pretty sure it'd be worth it to you. But again, it's our thinking that lands us in the places that we're in today. Again, your reality has been the result of your best thinking. So this is a series as well, folks. If you hadn't hit that subscribe button, hit it as well. Hit the like button also. Leave me some questions and comments down below so you can partner up and be a part of the team. All right?